Okay, so the second prelim fight that was released by Power Slap was the Logan Greenhalgh versus Cooper Housley fight. This wasn't a good fight. It wasn't really a bad performance by either guy, but it definitely wasn't a good performance by either guy either. Um, so to start, it's a heavyweight fight. It was a little weird to me at first to see when it was first made, just because I believe Cooper Housley was a super heavyweight at first. So it looked a little weird. I've known him as a huge guy, whereas Logan, definitely a big guy, but for heavyweight, generally on the smaller side. But he did look a little bigger in this fight, so it looks like he has maybe beefed up. Either that or Cooper Housley has lost a lot of weight, one or the other. But anyway, yeah, it wasn't the best. So Logan won the coin toss and striked first. It wasn't the best slap. It was clean. It was definitely a clean slap, but it seemed too clean. Like too much of the finger landed and not enough of the hand. It didn't seem to rock Housley at all. Like he ate it like it was absolutely nothing. Like Sunday brunch, and he's always had a great chin, so I wasn't really surprised by that. Especially if he's making the drop from super heavyweight, he'd be used to getting hit by guys way bigger. Um, so so that wasn't really surprising. Yeah, it didn't rock him at all. So then Housley comes back and throws a strike at Logan, and Logan flinches. It was a pretty bad flinch, if I'm being honest. It was pretty bad. Not used to seeing that from Logan. Maybe he was trying out like a new roll technique. Tough to tell, but it was a bad flinch, so they called it, and Housley got to strike again, and on the second one, he landed a big one. Like, it was a big shot. It was a great shot, and Logan, he ate it, but he didn't have a good poker face. That was the story of this fight to me. The thing that stuck out the most was that he really wasn't able to mask how bad he was hurt. He ate the shots, don't get me wrong. He ate it, and he wasn't even really wobbled, but he was not able to hide how bad he was affected, which is never good if it goes to the judges. So yeah, it was a clear 1-0 after the first round for Cooper. In the second round, Logan landed a good slap. It was a good slap. Like, I think that if Cooper doesn't come back with a hammer after, then he would probably win that round more times than not. But, I mean, Cooper Housley, his chin is just absolutely certified. Certified. It was a good shot by Logan, and he just ate it. And not only did he eat it, he played it off like it was nothing. I bet you he was more hurt than he showed, but that's one of his best strengths, in my opinion, is not only his chin, but his ability to just make it look like it was nothing, even if he's hurt. Like, some of these shots, it has to hurt, but you just wouldn't be able to tell. So yeah, good shot by Logan. Cooper ate it, and then on the second slap by Cooper, he absolutely rocked him. Like, I believe he knocked the cotton out of his ear, and it was noticeable how much Logan was affected. Logan was doing this thing where he was like grabbing the side of his face, and it just wasn't good optics, man. Like, I don't know if he got hit in the ear. That's possible because the cotton came out of the opposite ear, so maybe he got hit in the ear and he just couldn't help it. But the optics were terrible, terrible. And so if that went to a decision, like, there's just no way he could have won the fight. Like, it just was so clear, 2-0. 2-0 after the second round. And for Cooper, like, if he didn't land that hammer, he probably lost that round because Logan landed a good shot on the second strike. But anyway, so yeah, after two, clear for Cooper, 2-0. In the third round, Logan stumbled Cooper, so it was weird. Like, Logan hit him with a good shot, and Cooper did his normal, like, play it off, eat it, play it off. And then when he went to take his first step back to go chalk up, he stumbled. So, like, that just proves my point right there that, like, he's just so good at masking how bad he's hurt. And I didn't think he realized how dazed he was. or else he probably would have hung on again before, or for another second before he started to walk. So anyway, he was able to catch himself. One thing that I was impressed with Cooper with was that when he realized he wasn't okay, instead of continuing and trying to balance out, he just stopped. He just dead stopped. Stopped, stood up, took a deep breath. He recovers a lot like Rhodes, like Brandon Rhodes. I was super impressed with how Brandon Rhodes recovered and how when he wasn't sure, he just stopped. Like if he wasn't sure if he was good, he just stopped. Just stop walking. Stop walking, shake your head and look directly at the ref and tell him you're okay, and then see what happens. Buy yourself a couple seconds. Eventually they're going to make you walk again, but the more seconds you can collect by just pausing and making it look like you're okay, the less you'll wobble and just the better off you'll be in general. So yeah, anyway, it was a good strike by Logan. And so being up 2-0, Cooper's in a predicament coming back for his third slap. Like, and this is a topic that deserves another video on its own, that like if you're up 2 rounds to none and your opponent's already slapped you and you're still conscious and all you have to do is land a clean slap to win on the judges' scorecards, like the debate between that and going for the knockout and risking DQing. So anyway, Cooper steps up. All he has to do is land a clean slap, any clean slap, and he wins the fight. But instead he goes for the knockout blow, ends up clubbing Logan. I believe it hit him like straight in the neck. Like it was bad. I think it definitely had to do with how rocked he was on the last one, because he landed 2 amazing slaps, the first 2. So the fact that he just all of a sudden like completely misses the face after he got rocked for the first time and was wobbled, like, come on. Obviously it had something to do with it. Which, in my opinion, is all the more reason to just go for the clean slap. Just swing nice and light. If you're rocked, it's a lot easier to just hit nice and clean and not worry about power. If you're rocked, it's even more important to do that. But for whatever reason, it's also funny because it's like, yeah, you're going for the fan-pleasing strike, but dude, look around. This was the early prelims. There was no one there. There were no fans. The only fans that you'd be disappointing are the fans that are going to watch it a month later. And then it's like, okay, what does you better? Like going for it and DQing, or just putting a clean slap on it and winning? Like, if it weren't for this last penalty, Cooper Housley would have had an amazing performance. But this foul, being up 2 rounds to none and risking it and risking a clubbing or stepping foul, which they did end up calling clubbing on him, so it was a clubbing foul. In my opinion, that was just such a blunder and such a mistake, mental mistake, that it completely like negates how good he did before. Again, if he lands a clean slap and wins this fight, it would be an amazing, impressive performance. But that decision in that foul on the end was just so bad that I'm sorry, like it just completely negates it for me. It's tough for him. I think personally, like, you want to please the fans, and if you're in a main event and it's a sold out crowd, like, I could understand it a lot more. But this was the early prelims. There were no one there. Like, get your bag, show up, get your dub, get your bag, and go home. Like, in Power Slap, if you win, like, as long as you continue to win, like, for the most part, there will always be another chance for you to impress. So, like, it's not like you're going to win by decision and then get cut. Like, it's just not going to happen. You might not move up as much as if you knock somebody out, but you're not going to get cut if you continue to win. So it's like, take the win and live to fight another day and impress another day. But he just didn't do it. And so he ended up obviously losing a point, so it was a 10-8 round, and so at 2 rounds to none, it ended up being a majority draw. So altogether, it was pretty lame and a big blunder by him. For Logan, I mean, I'd like to see him move down to light heavyweight. He's not a big heavyweight, and like, these are the guys you're going to fight. Like, he came down from super, I believe, so it's like, these guys are going to be 265, like, they just are. And so he has a good chin, but if you're not able to put down, 265ers, then you're just in the wrong division. So I'd love to see if it's possible, if he could maybe diet down and ever find a way to get to light heavyweight, I think he'd be a lot better off. With a draw, like, it's not a loss, so, but it just wasn't good overall in my opinion. So I wasn't a huge fan of it. I'd like to see him move down to light heavyweight. For Cooper, I think you just need to, work on being able to make that decision in the moment, like understand risk versus reward. And I think it cost him here. I really do. Wins in power slap are hard to come by, and he had it on the tee in the bag. Like, it wasn't a close fight until that last round when he DQs. So yeah, I'm not sure what you do with both guys, but I wouldn't say it was like a bad performance by either of them, but it definitely wasn't a good one.